Mr. Malviya, politics playing out. Here is Jairam Ramesh, Congress's communications in charge, saying that BJP is trying to claim, credit for leading the G20 Summit. So for those who don't know and are not informed, this is basically India's turn to take over. BJP is trying to claim, credit for this. How would you look at this?
Well, as far as I remember, the BJP hasn't made a statement on it. And even if it is India's turn to take over, what matters is how well India executes it and how well India brings Bharat to the world.
Right, Mr. Malviya, just a moment. I'd like to tell our viewers that these are live visuals coming in of Prime Minister Modi and Rishi Sunak as their bilateral talks just about begin. So exchanging pleasantries there. While this happens on the sideline.
और इसका इस चर्चा का जो ब्यौरा है, जो विवरण है, ये हम आपको आगे जरूर बताएंगे जब कभी भी उसके बारे में आधिकारिक तौर पर जानकारी आ जाएगी तो उसके बारे में हम आपको जरूर बताएंगे। लेकिन फिलहाल आप जो टेलीविजन स्क्रीन पर तस्वीरें देख रहे हैं, तस्वीरों में कहते हैं तस्वीरें भी बहुत कुछ बोलती हैं। एक तस्वीर 1000 शब्दों के बराबर होती है। तो ये जो तस्वीर है वो भी अपने आप में बता रही है कि किस तरह से दोनों नेताओं के बीच गर्मजोशी के साथ मुलाकात हुई है, दोनों नेता किस तरह से हाथ मिला रहे हैं और एक बहुत ही खुशनुमा वातावरण है जब दोनों नेताओं ने यह मुलाकात की है और बातचीत की है द्विपक्षीय और वैश्विक मुद्दों पर। और दोनों नेताओं के साथ दोनों देशों के प्रतिनिधिमंडल भी हैं।
That we see of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak. It's a very warm handshake as the British Prime Minister walked up to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They shook hands, and now a very crucial bilateral meeting on the sidelines of G20. And you have India's Foreign Minister, you also have the National Security Advisor, the Foreign Secretary and India's delegation on one side and the British delegation on the other. And Nabila, this is an extremely interesting setup. They had an interaction yesterday. Both spoke warmly of that interaction on social media platform. And this is a very interesting relationship that's moving forward. One, the first bilateral with the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Post-Brexit, UK also realizes trade with India is in UK's interest, both seeking greater access to each other's markets, both also seeking greater cooperation in fields other than trade. Remember, India has also made a point, and very emphatically to the United Kingdom, that Britain cannot be seen as a safe haven for fugitives from justice in India. And, whether it's Nirav Modi or Vijay Mallya or a number of others who are in the United Kingdom, information that we are getting seems to indicate that Britain is cooperating in several instances to bring those fugitives from justice back to India. How quickly will this be carried to its logical conclusion remains to be seen, because Britain repeatedly says that those fugitives from law in India are exploiting all legal avenues that are available to them under British law. But bigger than that is this £24.3 billion worth of India-UK trade relationship that both countries now aspire to take forward.
This is a big deal for India, Gaurav, undoubtedly. A trade deal that will be struck under Rishi Sunak as he takes over for the first time as the Prime Minister. This is the first meet itself. So there's that kind of warmth between the two as we see as they start off the bilateral talks. But a quick word from you in detail, Gaurav. What's expected today? When we speak of a trade deal worth billions, what really is India anticipating to benefit?
So it is a win-win for both. There is no trade deal that will only benefit one and not the other, Nabila. A trade deal works only if it benefits both countries, and that is what both countries are trying to do. This FTA is something that both countries have been working on. Like conversation earlier, they were hoping for a Diwali deadline, but they could not meet that Diwali deadline. What is it that both the sides have been able to achieve so far? Well, education and nursing are two areas. In July 2022, a short-term mobility agreement was reached between both sides, and that was about in the field of nursing and in the field of education. But now what UK is seeking from India is to gain access to the Indian market for its equipment, transport equipment, electrical equipment, medical devices, motor vehicle parts, also critical, they want their wines and scotch, their breweries to benefit and have greater access to the Indian market. As far as India is concerned, India is looking to export, get greater access to the British market in terms of textile and food, also Indian pharmaceuticals, tobacco, leather, footwear. How soon will this happen, and does UK continue to link visa overstay issue to FTA? That still remains to be seen, because as of now, the information is that India has told the UK in no uncertain terms that visa and consular issues are to be dealt with separately by that department. The department concerned, and trade needs to be dealt with separately by the department concerned. So as of now, the effort is to remove the niggles and move forward. But will it be just speed that the two sides are looking at, or move beyond speed and look to remove all niggles? That remains the big issue. This, of course, is the first image of the first official bilateral between Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak. This meeting also becomes extremely significant at a time that India has assumed the presidency of G20. The gavel has passed on to India, but of course it's from the 1st of December that it officially begins.